You're scrolling through your phone on a Tuesday night, and you see another article about retirement savings. You know you shouldn't click it, but you do, and there it is, that number. By age 40, you should have 3x your salary saved for retirement. You do the math in your head. 3 times your income. You open your 401k app or the IRA you opened 5 years ago and barely look at, and the number staring back at you feels wrong, too small. Way too small. There's this hollow feeling that settles in. Not panic exactly, just this quiet certainty that you're behind. And that everyone else figured this out at 25, and you missed the memo. Here's what I want to tell you. That feeling is incredibly common. The benchmark is more complicated than it sounds, and this is the part that surprised me. Turning 40 without enough saved might actually put you in a better position than you think. And here's what I eventually figured out about catching up. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm someone who has spent an embarrassing amount of time thinking about this exact question. I've read the Fidelity benchmarks, the Federal Reserve studies, the Vanguard retirement reports. I've modeled the spreadsheets at 2 a.m. Not because I'm smart, because I was anxious. I turned 40 without 3x my salary saved, not even close. And I wanted to know, was I screwed? Or was there a different story the numbers could tell? What I found changed how I think about this entirely. Let me introduce you to 2 people. Maria is 40. She earns $65,000 a year. She started contributing to her workplace 401k at 23. She's been steady, not aggressive, just present. 6% of her salary, her employer matched 3%. She never thought about it much. When she checks her balance today, she's got about $135,000 saved, right around 2x her salary. She reads that article and thinks, I'm behind. Ryan is also 40, same salary. But Ryan didn't start saving until he was 34. He was paying off student loans, then credit cards, then just living. At 34, he had 0 in retirement savings. Nothing. He finally started contributing, and because he felt behind, he went harder. 12% of his salary. Today, he's got $52,000 saved. Less than 1x his salary. He reads that article and thinks, I'm so far behind, it doesn't even matter. Here's the question. Which one of them is actually in better shape for retirement? The answer isn't what you think. There's this metaphor I think about constantly. Imagine retirement savings like a train. The ideal scenario is you got on the train at 22 and it's been rolling steadily for 18 years. By 40, you've traveled a decent distance. That's Maria. Ryan missed the early train. But here's the thing about trains. There are multiple trains, and the one that matters most is the one leaving between 40 and 65. That 25-year window is the most powerful savings window of your life. Not because of time, though that helps, but because of earnings, clarity, and consistency. In your 20s, you're broke. In your 30s, you're surviving. But in your 40s and 50s, you're often finally earning real money. Your expenses stabilize, and, this is key, you're no longer confused about whether this matters. You know it does. So Maria has a head start. But Ryan has something else. Urgency and intention. And that combination is shockingly powerful. Let me show you what happens next for both of them. Maria's journey, she's got $135,000 at 40. She keeps contributing 6% of her salary, $3,900 a year, plus the 3% employer match, $1,900 a year. That's $5,800 5-year total. Age 40, $135,000 total. Age 5,000 tone. She contributed $5,500. The market added $16,500. Age 60, $65,000 total. The market added $117,000 total. The market added $113,000. She'll retire with just over $500,000. Solid. Respectable. She'll be okay. Ryan's journey, he's got $52,000 at 40. But he's contributing 12%, $7,800 year, plus his 3% employer match, $1,950. That's $9,750 year total. Age 40, $52,000 saved. Age 50, $175,000. He contributed $97,500. The market added $25,500. Age 60, $40,000. He contributed $95,000 total. The market added $173,000. Age 65, $615,000. Wait, read that again. Ryan, who started with less than half of what Maria had, ends up with $105,000 more at retirement. Let that land for a second. Here's what nobody talks about when they throw around those benchmarks. Like 3x your salary by 40. The benchmark is a diagnostic tool, not a prison sentence. It's meant to tell you if you're on a passive track to retire comfortably. It assumes you'll keep doing exactly what you've been doing. If you have 3x saved by 40 and you keep contributing the same modest percentage, yeah, you'll be fine. But if you don't have 3x saved, that doesn't mean you're doomed. It means you need to stop being passive. There's a study from the Employee Benefit Research Institute that I think about constantly. They found that people who started saving aggressively in their 40s, even those who started from zero, ended up with higher retirement balances than people who saved modestly from their 20s. Why? Because intensity beats duration when you still have 20 plus years. The math is simple. Someone who saves 3,000 a year for 40 years, 20,000 contributed. Someone who saves 10,000 a year for 20 years, 200,000 contributed. And here's the kicker. According to Vanguard's 2023 How America Saves report, the median 401k balance for people in their 40s is around 93,000. Not 195,000, which would be 3x the median income, not even close. That 3x your salary benchmark, most Americans aren't hitting it. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're just in the majority that needs to shift gears now. Compound interest matters, but contribution rate matters more when you're starting in your 40s. The people who started late often weren't distracted. They weren't coasting. They were awake. Okay, but here's the real question. How do you actually survive this mentally? Because knowing you need to save 12% or 15% of your income is one thing. Actually doing it while living a life is another. I think the honest answer is this. Automate before you feel ready. You will never feel ready to increase your contribution rate. The money will always have somewhere else to go. So you have to automate the increase before your brain catches up. Log into your 401k portal today. Increase your contribution by 2%. You won't feel it. Do it again in 6 months. Plans let you set up automatic annual increases. Use that feature. Reframe what catching up means. You're not trying to match someone who started at 22. You're trying to build enough runway so that 65-year-old you can breathe. That's it. That's the mission. It's not about benchmarks. It's about buying future freedom. Use the gift of clarity. When you're 25, retirement is theoretical. When you're 40, it's real. You've seen older colleagues retire. You've watched parents age. You know this is coming. That clarity is rocket fuel if you let it be. Let the realness of it drive you, not shame you. Max out the match first, then push higher. If your employer offers a 401k match and you're not getting the full match, that's step one. It's literally free money. After that, try to hit 15% total, your contribution plus employer match. Can't do 15%? Do 10%. Can't do 10%. Do 8%. Just do more than you're doing now. Let me talk to 3 different people watching this. If you're 40 and you got less than 30,000 saved, your goal isn't to have a huge number by next year. Your goal is to prove to yourself that you can save something consistently for 12 months. Start with 6% if you can. Even 4%. Just start. The train is still at the station. You have 25 years. That's enough. And if you can increase it by 1% every year, you'll end up in a completely different place than you think. If you're 40 and you've got $60,000 and $20,000 saved, you're not behind. You're in the middle of the pack, and the middle of the pack retires just fine if they don't coast. This is your moment to increase your contribution rate by 35%. That small change will add 6 figures to your retirement balance. You're closer than you think. You just need to stay intentional. If you're 40 and you got more than 200,000 saved, you've already won the first half. Now the question is, are you still being intentional or are you on autopilot? The people who end up with the most aren't the ones who started with the most. They're the ones who stayed awake all the way through. Consider maxing out your 401k, 23,000 a year in 2024. And if you can, open a Roth IRA on the side. You have momentum. Use it. Here's what I've come to believe. Turning 40 without enough saved isn't a failure. It's a wake-up call. And wake-up calls, if you listen to them, are some of the most valuable things that can happen to you. The people who started saving at 22 often cruise. They assume the early train will carry them. The people who start at 40 don't have that luxury. So they get serious. They get intentional. And they often end up in a better place because of it. You're not too late. You're right on time to catch the train that actually matters. Did this help reframe how you think about your own timeline? I'd love if you subscribed. I make videos like this every week breaking down the retirement math that actually matters without the shame or the jargon. And if you want to help someone else who's feeling behind, share this video. Sometimes the most valuable thing we can give each other is permission to start now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.